Hey guys, it's Michelle, Deception Bytes, and I am bringing you more Q. Now, these were dropped late last night, and they're just pictures, so I was waiting to see if he posted anything else today so that I could add these to it and make it a more substantial post. But he has not, and I think it's probably at this point important for me to just go ahead and go through these because I do have some dribs and drabs of other Q related stuff to go over. Now, I know there are some regular listeners that just want Q. They're all Q, nothing but Q all the time. So I'm doing it this way so that I can go through these and then they can decide whether they want to keep listening to the other Q related stuff or they want to exit and do something else. And there's two pieces of housekeeping here. One, I've been playing around with the settings on my software, and I'm hoping that I have made a substantial improvement. If I have not, and for any reason you feel that it's not improved or less, it's worse than it was before, please let me know. And one other thing, I have a message for someone. They will know who they are, and I want to say to Q, not Q as in the letter Q, but CUE. Yes, I definitely want more information. You have my full attention. Also, what on earth is an egg? That's it. I'm going to proceed. So let's look at the first Q post. And Q posted this image. I didn't know what this was. It said Apple, so obviously that's a clue. And so I'm going to go on and we're going to look at all the pictures and then I'm going to come back. Now, the next one, and let me make this bigger if I can for you guys. Now, I know these are very small pictures and they're blurry. They're just not the best quality of image. And this is an airplane and this is an airplane. I wish I could have more to say about it, but I don't. Now, let's go to the next one. Now, this is I don't think this is a Q. Maybe this is Q. Yeah, it is Q. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I gotta make it smaller so I can see where I am on the page. Yes, so this is the second picture of that circle. And we're going to go and take a look at what it is. And maybe all of you know, especially some of you people that live in California, maybe you know, but I didn't. And it actually is the Apple headquarters. And they took possession of this, or it opened to employees in April 2017. So it's roughly been open a year. It changed from their old facility, which let me see, its research and development facilities are occupied with over 2,000 people. It replaced the original headquarters at One Infinite Loop, which opened in 1993. Its circular design and extreme scale have earned a media nickname of the spaceship. Located on a suburban site totaling 175 acres, 71 hectares, it houses more than 12,000 employees in one central four-storied circular building of approximately 2,800 square feet. Steve Jobs wanted the whole campus to look less like an office park and more like a nature refuge. 80% of the site consists of green space planted with drought-resistant trees and plants indigenous to the Cupertino area. And the center, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. And the center courtyard of the main building features an artificial pond. So that's it. Now, I don't think it's all that important for us to go into every single detail of this building because I think that Q is trying to get a message across to us, not in the details, but more, well, we'll see. We'll see. Let me go on. I'm feeling all discombobulated today for some reason. I don't know why. Now, the next link has these two pictures. Now, I'll try and make this bigger, but they're not good quality pictures. And I'm not blaming Q, but they're just not the best pictures. So this is something to do with Apple. And then there is what looks like the inside of a truck or shipping container, and there are pallets. There are 3 visible pallets there. What is in them is anyone's guess, because they are wrapped up like they're shrink wrapped. There's no writing that's, at least discernible on the outside. If you go to the 8chan board, you can get the bigger pictures and kind of look at them, but there really isn't that much detail in these photographs. And I found out that this is the headquarters. Oh, well, let me see if I got the link here to it. Yep, that picture is this Apple IFC Mall, and it's in central Hong Kong. So that is what that picture is. So Q is showing us the Apple IFC Mall at International Finance Center, 8 Finance Street, Central Hong Kong. So this is Hong Kong. Then we have there, Hong Kong, shipping containers, or a shipping container or a truck, but it looks to me like maybe the cargo area of a plane, maybe a shipping container, I'm not sure. Probably more likely to be the inside of a plane, but I don't know. But there are shrink wrap pallets of something. Then if you go down here, we're backing up, okay, we've got the Apple headquarters in California. So those are the 3 places that Q is pointing out to us. The Hong Kong Apple IFC, whatever it is, mall, I guess they call it, and the headquarters in California, and shrink wrap pallets. And let's look at the last 2 pictures. Nope, that's not them. I guess I have to back up. And here's 2 planes. Now, it looks to be from those, I went over to the 8chan board and looked and blew it up as big as I can, and it seems to be the general consensus that it is a JetBlue airline. So looking at these pictures, we've got airplanes, we've got cargo of some sort, we've got the Hong Kong Apple, and then we've got the Apple headquarters in California. So my guess would be, obviously these pictures are related. He's not going to just throw up pictures willy-nilly. So, well, how did the cargo get from Hong Kong to Los Angeles? Is it Los Angeles? No, it's California, but it's not Los Angeles, wherever it is. And, well, obviously, maybe by plane. So something's going one way or the other. It's either going from California to Hong Kong or Hong Kong to California, and there's an airplane involved. So Q is letting us know something, but really, I think what Q is doing is sending a message to Deep State, the cabal. That's what I think. And I think that they're probably crapping their drawers right now. Really. That seems to be the way Q plays, and I don't have a problem with it. But I think they are sending a message, because if Q wanted us to know so badly, he would have posted something by now. And eventually he will, because that's just the way it usually works out. We kind of puzzle over something for a while, and then he'll drop something, he'll drop additional clues or whatever. But right now, honestly, I believe that this is a message to the cabal, and I think they know exactly what it means. So Now, I did go out and grab some things that were kind of pertinent around this, pertinent to this, rather. I grabbed this Facebook feed from this person. I don't follow them, but I'm not really sure how. Oh, I guess they're at Fox News. Well, there you go. U.S. officials say the Pentagon recently terminated its use of BlackBerry smartphones and now issues Apple iPhones, also assembled in China. I don't know. I found that on Twitter and I thought it was interesting. You might say, well, actually, it's not. But there we go. So you can see why I was a little hesitant to bring this to you, because there's nothing really here. There's nothing, jaw-dropping or nothing that's going to really stand out. So I guess it's just a waiting game to wait until, actually, forgive me, I said this was posted by Q. It was not. This was posted by an Anon, and it was in reference to the one by Q. So this was just a better picture of it, which is why I grabbed it. Now, I am going to go into some Q-related stuff now. So we're going to leave the Q post for now, because there's really, we can sit and, talk about it all day, but I don't think that we're going to solve it, because I think that we're missing some pieces to be able to solve it at this point. So let me go into some Q-related stuff that I grabbed today. Now, I thought this was interesting. Grabbed this off of someone's Facebook, and I do find this person interesting if you want to follow them. Jordan Sather has some very interesting posts from time to time, but he said 29,000 sealed court records across all districts of America right now, all filed within the last 6 months. Average is approximately 1,000 per year. So all of you people that are saying, nothing's happening. Yeah, it is. We don't see it. We're not seeing it. But it's happening. 29,000 in the last 6 months. Wow. I'll say it backwards. Wow. So the average is 1,000 per year. So I'd say that's up substantially. Now let's go down to, let me see. Got all sorts of little, and I'm sure you have heard by now that Trump has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. And he deserves it. This was Fox News moments ago. Representative Diane Black released her and several other members of Congress nomination of President Donald J. Trump to the Nobel Committee for the Nobel Peace Prize. That's big news. Now, I will be shocked if he gets it. Not that he doesn't deserve it, because boy, does he ever deserve it. And certainly more than Obama, who did nothing to further peace and did everything to disrupt it. So that's interesting. Then this is interesting as well. Speaking about, Obama was talking about the Netanyahu when Netanyahu, was talking about Iran and why it was a bad deal and so forth. Obama says Netanyahu revealed, quote, nothing new on Iran. Now, that means they knew the Iran deal would give Iran permission to continue covertly building nukes in Syria and North Korea. Yet Obama still signed it. Yep. Yeah, this is called treason. That's what it is. Treason. So, and I'm sure you've heard this by now as well, because if it's hard, the news is going by so fast, it's like, one day goes by and everything is old news. But North Korea releases U.S. detainees, bows to another Trump demand. White House builds team for talks on nuclear program. And I don't know if you have noticed this lately, but Kim looks kind of like a whipped puppy. And I don't know. I think, I don't know. I mean, he's obviously, it's hard for me to say whether he's relieved at what's happening or he's going along with it because he really has no other choice. But I'm sure he couldn't have been happy with his country being run by the clowns. So, I don't know, but he does look a little subdued lately. So, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has released 3 U.S. citizens detained for years in his horrific prison camps, surrendering to another of President Trump's demands in advance of a planned historic summit between the two leaders whose countries have long been adversaries. A series of concessions by Mr. Kim, from agreeing to a goal of denuclearization. See, you know what? As soon as I saw the word nuclear, I panicked because everybody always jumps on me about saying it wrong. So I was like, I'm going to say it right. And then I screwed it up. So denuclearizing the Korean peninsula to freeing 3 Americans has not calmed fears among Mr. Trump's critics that he will wing it in the talks and potentially empower the communist regime in Pyongyang. Behind the scenes at the White House, however, the president has marshaled an agile team to hone a fast-paced negotiating strategy and back him up in the nuclear talks, which could be held as soon as this month or by the end of June. Now, interesting that Trump's critics are afraid that he'll wing it. Who cares what he does? Like, really, it's working. Whatever he's doing is working. Leave the man alone. If he wants to wing it, let him wing it. For heaven's sakes, I just don't get it. I mean, he's done more in the time that he's been president than probably all of our presidents combined. And yet, well, we're afraid he's going to go in there and wing it. Yeah, like you all have been so successful in bringing this about. Like, it boggles my mind, really. Like, it really does. But okay, I'll move on. Wing it. I hope he does go in there and wing it. Okay, now, here's something else I grabbed. FBI's Comey dealt with Hillary's shady Whitewater scandal 20 years ago. Let's just make this a little bigger so you people on your tiny little phones can see it. Federal prosecutors closed their investigation Thursday into whether former President Clinton's grant of clemency to 4 swindlers was political payback arranged by his wife, now Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now, when was this? Let me see if I can grab a date on this. Well, this says July 7th, 2016, but, well, I guess that must be the date. U.S. Attorney James B. Comey said that his office had ended its investigation with no charges filed. He gave no reason. We thoroughly investigated, and it wasn't appropriate to bring charges against anybody in the case, said Comey, who took office earlier this year after the departure of Clinton appointee Mary Jo White. The case involved 4 men convicted of bilking the government out of tens of millions of dollars. All 4 lived in New Square, a Hasidic Jewish village outside New York City that voted overwhelmingly for Hillary Clinton during her Senate bid 2 years ago. President Clinton later shortened their sentence just before he left office. Hillary Clinton has said she played no part in her husband's decision. Comey said investigations continue into other pardons Clinton issued just before leaving office, including that of commodities broker Mark Rich, and into allegations that Clinton's brother Roger received up. Well, it cuts off then. So I can't read the rest. I grabbed this from somebody's Facebook. But it's just interesting. He dealt with Hillary's shady Whitewater scandal 20 years ago. All right, let's see what else we have here. That I grabbed. Now, somebody messaged me and said that have I seen the video and that there looks like there's another object on there, and I hadn't had time to really investigate it, but I did find this out there. Excuse me. And I wanted to show you guys because maybe you've seen it. But here's the cargo plane as it's going down. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I know. Okay. There's the cargo plane. There's the second object. And whoever this is that made this graphic said, looks like a miniature stealth fighter. And here's blow-ups. Of course, it's very, very blurry, but you can clearly see two objects. I'm expecting at some point Q will let us in on what happened here. Because I don't think it was an accident. I really don't. And I don't think you do either. So just, it's odd. Odd. So, moving on from there, I don't have anything else about that, but I am expecting at some point Q will mention this plane going down. Now, I have to show you this. I have to. I do not understand this. Now, hang on here. All right. Wait, let me pause it here. Now, okay, Hillary Clinton says being a capitalist hurt her in primaries because so many Dems are socialists. Okay, like, I don't know what number of excuse this is, like 553rd excuse why she didn't win. But that's not, although that's interesting in and of itself that she's making yet another excuse, but that's not why I'm showing this to you. I'm showing this to you because look at her. Now, I'm going to play it and just pay close attention to the way she moves. Hang on, see if I can make this bigger. Pay very close attention to the way she's moving, okay? I'll take it back to the beginning. Like, she's not sitting normally at all. It looks like she's in a wheelchair, but she's not because the other guy is sitting in a chair that's just like it. Because at first I thought she was in a wheelchair. So let's just pay close
You may be the only presidential candidate since World War II that actually had to stand up and say, I am a capitalist. And you did. Did it hurt you?
Probably. I mean, you know, it's hard. It's hard to know, but I mean, if you're in the Iowa caucuses and 41% of Democrats are socialists or self-described socialists, and I'm asked, "Are you a capitalist?" and I say yes, but with appropriate regulation and appropriate accountability, you know, that probably gets lost in the, oh my gosh, she's a capitalist.
So the first thing I notice here is that she looks like she's had work done on her face. If this even is Hillary Clinton, I don't know. Because I'm telling you, it does not look like her. It really doesn't. Like, she may have had work done on her face, but what is going on with her body? She's not moving her upper body at all, and it looks like she's got some padding or maybe a bulletproof vest. That would be my thought in looking at this, is that she's wearing a bulletproof vest. But why? Why would she be, you know, well, I mean, I know why, but I mean, is she that afraid? It's very odd to me. And it's not, the part that I find odd is she doing that? I don't know. Is it to support her head because her head does all sorts of weird things now? I don't know, but let me go back and just show you again. Just pay attention to her. It's just weird.
You may be the only presidential candidate since World War II that actually had to stand up and say, I am a capitalist. And you did. Did it hurt you?
Probably. I mean, it's hard to know, but I mean, if you're in the Iowa caucuses and 41% of Democrats are socialists or self-described socialists, and I'm asked, "Are you a capitalist?" and I say yes, but with appropriate regulation and appropriate accountability. That probably gets lost in the, oh my gosh, she's a capitalist.
But the other thing I just noticed I didn't notice before, hang on if I can find it. Okay. Maybe it's just me. She looks like her eyes do that really weird thing when he's asking that question. See how they kind of do that strange thing for a minute and then she answers. I don't know. Maybe I'm making something out of nothing. And that could be. I think there was something else on down as well that... Not that. The art of being less likable than least likable candidate in history. There was something else down here. Oh, this. Look at this. I love this meme because anybody not willing to accept the results of an election is a threat to democracy. Hillary Clinton. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, unless it's her that loses, then that's completely different. But this anybody means anybody like Trump not willing to accept the results of an election is a threat to democracy because she thought she was going to win, but oh, it's funny. Okay. All right. A bobcat gives first interview. All right. I have no idea what that's about. All right. Now, is that all I have? Is that all? Oh, no, it isn't. No, it's not. Let's see. This is, it's like I try to read something like, at least once a day that scares the crap right out of me. Today, this was it. Yep. Every day. Seriously. I try to do something that scares the crap out of me. Or read something that scares the crap out of me. Today, this is it. Yep. Skynet in China. Real life person of interest spying in real time. Now, I had read a different article, which was much more scarier than this. Much more scary than this. And it really did scare me. I'm one of those people, I don't watch horror movies. There's a reason. And it did, but I can't find it now. I can't find it. But this gives a lot of the same information. If you've seen the TV series Person of Interest, then you might recall during the open narration from season 1, Harold Finch would say, "You are being watched. The government has a secret system, a machine that spies on you every hour of every day. I know because I built it. I designed the machine to detect acts of terror, but it sees everything." I was reminded of that when I saw a GIF that appeared as if it could be a Chinese version of the show, except it is not fictional TV. It is a CCTV clip showing current surveillance in China. Thanks to artificial intelligence, facial recognition technology, GPS tracking, and 20 million CCTV cameras, China's sadly named Skynet system demonstrates just how creepy real-time surveillance can be. According to a documentary that ran on China Central Television, the security cameras use facial recognition to identify each person and then overlap a pop-up of personal information on the screen by the person. Descriptions include details such as age, gender, and other features such as clothing color that happens in real time. The system knows who is who because Chinese people are reportedly given a photo national ID by the age of 16, and the data is stored in the Chinese government database. That makes it easy to tag and track people. The stored data from the CCTV footage can later be searched, allegedly for wanted individuals. The police are notified if the system identifies criminals in the database. The advanced surveillance system also identifies vehicles, tagging them with types, colors. The Daily Mail went as far as to call this the world's most advanced video surveillance system. Whether that is true or not, most governments don't brag to the general public about how advanced their surveillance system is. The Chinese government released the surveillance video allegedly so that people in China can see how the monitoring system can help people search. But this thing is scary. It can search billions of people in seconds and determine whether any of them are wanted. And it's tracked to, remember how we were talking, I don't know, it was many videos ago, about China having this social score. And if you didn't have a good score, like say you didn't pay your library fines or your parking fines, your score goes down. And if you don't have a certain score, you can't use public transit, you can't get on an airplane, you can't travel, you're just shut down. And it reminded people of an episode on, I think the series is called Black Mirror, and I think I played a portion of that for you. But this stuff is scary. Like, it's scary because there's no place to run. There's no place to hide. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, you don't have to worry. If you're not a criminal, you don't have to worry. Yes, you do. Yes. Because what happens when you become the criminal? Just like we're seeing now, where they're almost criminalizing being conservative. They're kicking us off of social media. Our opinions don't matter. How is that any different? I mean, it is different because they have stopped short of criminalizing us. But, the possibility for that type of thing is open. And what happens when you're tagged as a conservative and, they have a social score and your social score drops because you're touting views that are not according to the acceptable narrative. I mean, this, honestly, when you look at it, I'm thinking, oh, what could possibly go wrong? Everything. Anyway, China began building its nationwide surveillance system, Skynet, in 2005. It was upgraded several times, but by 2015, Skynet covered 100% of Beijing. The same year, China launched Operation Skynet to hunt down fugitive corrupt officials. The newly released surveillance video is part of Skynet, but China's Operation Skynet 2017 is allegedly aimed at hunting down corruption suspects abroad. Mission creep happens everywhere. I like that, mission creep. I've never heard that, but I like that term. Mission creep happens everywhere. And facial recognition technology in Shenzhen, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, started being used to identify jaywalkers. Names and pictures go up on a screen. Facial recognition is even used in public restrooms. For example, in restrooms at Beijing's Temple of Heaven Park, you have your face scanned before a machine spits out a 24-inch strip of toilet paper. It will not dispense more to the same person until 9 minutes have passed. Are you kidding me? So, if you're in Beijing and you need to go to the restroom, and let's say that it's going to be a messy one, and you've got diarrhea or something horrible is running out of you, and you've got a 24-inch strip of toilet paper. 24 inches. Not 23. Not 25, 24. And you've got to use that 24-inch strip of toilet paper to clean up the mess that is running out of you at an alarming rate. Are you kidding me? And then you gotta wait there. You gotta wait there with your pants down for 9 more minutes to get another 24-inch strip. Not 23, not 25, 24. And it'll spit out that. Well, what if that's not enough? Well, you have to sit there another 9 minutes. Meanwhile, everybody's texting you and wondering what the heck happened to you. I mean, this is just, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Well, maybe you could if you were me, because I really do have quite a vivid imagination. But seriously, toilet paper. Wow. In 2015, China moved ahead with its plan of a social credit system, better known as Citizen Score. That sounds so much better than social credit system, which was linked to 1.3 billion Chinese citizens' national ID cards and scored each citizen on their behavior. The ACLU said the system leveraged all the tools of the information age, electronic purchasing data, social networks, algorithm sorting, to construct the ultimate tool of social control. A citizen score tied to credit scores could go down if a friend in social media did or said something the government considered inappropriate by buying certain video games, posting political comments without permission, or posting anything that might embarrass the Chinese regime. So if you're friends with somebody that posts something that the government doesn't like, your score goes down. Yeah. Because we're all guilty of what our friends do. Now, other examples in China date back to 2008, when taxicabs were fitted with video cameras and satellite technology that transmits a live audio feed of what is being said in the cab back to a computer for monitoring and linguistic analysis. Radio Free Asia added, in some cities, the cameras automatically take at least one picture of every occupant as a backup in case of later criminal activity. Are you kidding me? This is like Minority Report. It's not what you've done, it's what you're gonna do. Unbelievable. In 2013, NPR reported that Chinese state security agents privately confirmed turning cell phones into listening devices. Phones were used to eavesdrop, track movements, and arrest activists or criminals. Since then, we've learned that law enforcement in other countries, including the US, resort to the same tactics. I don't know about you, but I was creeped out by the video showing how advanced surveillance in real time can be. The question is, does China really have the most advanced video surveillance system? Or is it the only government that is willing to go on record and admit it? Yeah, I think it's the latter. That is absolutely, it's terrifying to me. It is. It's terrifying because there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. If they deem you a criminal, that's it. Unbelievable. Jaywalking. They're looking for jaywalkers. Are you kidding me? Jaywalkers. Wow. And they most certainly need to monitor the toilets. All right, well, that's it for tonight, and I will keep checking to see if there's more Q posts, but for now, that's all I have, and I will talk to you later. Hope you have a good night. Stay safe.